Welcome back, everybody, to Couples in Conversations. This is continuing the conversation. If you did not have the opportunity to watch Monday's episode regarding boys and girls trips and traveling, go ahead and stop this recording now and head over there, watch Monday's episode, and then come back. It was phenomenal, and you need to see that to know where we're going with this conversation. If this is your first time joining our channel, welcome, and please do us a favor and like, subscribe, and comment on our page. You can find us here on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Couples in Conversations. And if you ever need to find any one of our videos, it is posted and tagged using the hashtag #GetInOnTheConversation. So earlier we were discussing going on trips without your spouse, without your partner, without your mate. Is it appropriate? Is it inappropriate? Is it permissible? Is it not? So now we are going to talk about co-ed relationships. So the topic that we're going to be discussing is, do you believe it's appropriate to have close friends of the opposite sex? And if so, are there additional boundaries in place for co-ed relationships, or is it just, it is what it is? All right, so we're going to park there, and we are going to start with the greens.
So I think that it's appropriate for people to have friends of the opposite sex. Absolutely. It would be absurd for me to say otherwise, and the reason being because when I met Jason, like we always say, we met later on in life. We didn't grow up together like a lot of the couples on here. We didn't meet young. So when I met Jay, he had a ton of friends, female, male. How I look like coming into his situation, like, well, you need to get rid of her, and her. You know, that doesn't make sense. One of his best friends is a girl, you know, and they talk often. I don't care. They've never given me a reason to feel like it's anything other than a conversation. Sometimes he on speakerphone, sometimes he not, but he's never given me a reason to feel like you talking to her too much. And when I say they talk very often, I mean once or twice a month. That's very often, but it ain't like every day. But what I'm saying is he's never given me a reason to be like, why are you talking to her? Why are you talking to him? Now, if it's something like, so his ex, if him and his ex try to remain friends, that particular ex, not any ex, but that particular ex, the one right before me, no, you can't talk to her because one, she was crazy. Two, once we had already gotten together and was engaged, she was still trying to get him, sending him naked pics and, you know, and stuff like that, still trying to reel him back in. So that's a friendship you cannot keep. But if it's just a regular girl who you talk to, or it's your homegirl, your friend, I have no issue with them continuing their friendship.
Is there any way to edit this live recording? Like what?
I'm just saying she was. So y'all can't be friends.
Oh my God.
But any of your other homegirls, absolutely.
Yeah, well, we got the point way before that. Anyway, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. She had male friends. It's more or less, I guess, the trust of the other person. And if it was like a new friend that popped up, I could see how a person could have an issue with it on male or female, because it'd be weird either way. If a new person that you just popped up and was like, this is one of my best friends, my close friends, it's a dude that worked with you. You bring him home from work. Nah, that's not even feasible in my life. I mean, where else would you meet? Anyway, if it's just a random person, because I wouldn't be able to bring a random person, I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing a random person, a new person into the situation. If it was somebody like she stated before me, years before she even knew of me, I can't expect her to, you know, lose that friend or shed that friend just because she got with me. And but I do think that it should be some understandings where some of the things that might have been able to happen with regard to him having as much access to her, regardless of whatever that means. I'm not cool with, you know, just open access. There's got to be some kind of parameters set there too. So
by parameters, you mean not talking after maybe 10, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, not sitting up on the phone all day, falling asleep on the phone. That's use common
sense. That's all I said. Use common sense. Use common sense. But you got to just use common sense. I'm done.
All right. Jason, do you have any comments?
You got to just use common sense. I'm done. I'm done. You got to just use common sense. I'm done. You got to just use common sense. But you got to just use common sense. I'm done. I'm done. You got to just use common sense. But you got to just use common sense.
Did you say Fowler Nation?
Yes.
Oh, we didn't hear you. Friends, opposite sex. If they were pre-marriage, that is perfectly fine. Post-marriage, not you. No. Period. I don't. As far as I'm concerned, with Michael and his friends, Michael is a loner, and that's just everybody on this call know him, and they know Michael is a loner. So for him to come home and say, or on the phone with a woman or whatever, and saying, "Oh, that's my friend," yeah, no, she better be before 2005, and I better have known something about her before 2005, because at this point, number one, you don't have time nor room for any new female friends, outside of a cordial, hey, how you doing? But, oh, Toy, I'm about to go meet up with Ty, whatever. I'm about to go meet up with Susie at the whatever. Yeah, no, you're not. Or we about to go out for dinner. Yeah, no, you're not. Because I don't know this person. I don't know nothing about this person. You got me messed up. Right, honey?
My sentiments exactly. Even before marriage. Ex-boyfriends, no. If I met them before, okay, I can understand that. But even like, oh my God, because Totally swear she meets everybody from Persian, or I know somebody from Detroit. So don't hate. Walking in Kroger, and oh, wait a minute, he looks familiar. I'm like, from where? High school. And they meet up. Okay, that's nice. Chum, y'all are friends. In high school, that's great. But if that particular friend, and she was like, oh, he's coming over, my next question is, oh, well, is he married? Well, if he's not married, hell no. No, that's not happening. Even now, I mean, and like she said, I'm a loner. So if I talk to somebody at work, they are strictly at work. Like, I don't bring anybody. Like, nobody's coming from work to my house. I don't care what I'm having. I mean, Tolise has invited some of her coworkers, but once again, they were females.
Right.
And even though they were single, I mean, no. But I'm not. If I was to,
it's co-worker. It's one person.
One co-worker.
But he's got ugly co-workers.
But she has invited people to our house. But she told me about it. I said, yeah, that's fine. And I've met them before. Either we met up after I'm picking up her work or something like that. But you can, but it depends on the relationship. If it's afterwards, then you can, but they have to be, like I said, I would feel more comfortable if they were married. If you have a male friend and you get chummy, okay, fine. Let's have a couples date or whatever, because you were trying to do a double date with one of your old coworkers, and that was a guy, but he was already married. So I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, but not.
But we never, they have to be married.
All right, heading over to them Crawfords.
I pretty much agree with everything that was pretty much already stated. If they were relationship, which kind of sucks for us because we've been, with each other since we was 15, 16, 17. So that kind of sucks. So basically those friends are no longer friends because those were middle school, high school friends. So technically they're not friends anymore, really, to be completely honest. But I mean, yeah, that's fine. And then some of those are a little questionable because, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like I said, if it was previous to our relationship, then that's fine. But as far as like bringing in new ones, and then like I would say just kind of with like, Jonathan's place of employment, it is very, diverse when it comes to male and female. And there's a lot of people there and they try to say that they are friends. No, you're coworkers. You just are kind of cool at work. So let's just leave it at that because you're not friends. you're just coworkers that have a good time at work. Some of them are cool, but when, you know, we interact with each other, it's because a lot of the females per se, they have a man, or, you know, they're married or they're in a relationship. He's never been, you know, he's never ever tried to introduce me to some of them like, oh yeah, there's my girl, such and such and such. You know, like, no, that's your coworker. Or they've never been able to come over to the house. Like, no, unless they have like a mate or they are with someone, then that's okay. That's fine. Like that's cool. But anything other than that, not, like I said, it just kind of sucks for us because all of our friends were you know, we were kids when we were dating early on. So pretty much ain't no new friends if that's the the slogan that we going with, because that would be a little questionable for me. There's no such thing as a new, you know, friendship. And then even with me, like I kind of like some of, you know, we all know all of our friends that we grew up with and, you know, people we done became like family with, but there are some relationships that I had to kind of pull back from because it crossed some barriers when we were supposed to be friends, but he kind of crossed the barrier. So I was like, no, I can't really kick it like that with you no more because, you know, I am married. So that's my take on it.
All right. Jonathan?
Me personally, it's going to be a no for me. But at the same time, I'm not. Even if she did have friends, I'm not a jealous person at all. Erica gonna do what she gonna do, regardless to how I feel. The ones before, there's nothing I can do about that. Any after, I don't know. She probably got some co-worker or guy friends at work. I'm sure she do. I done seen some on a picture or two, and there to her it's nobody. I done watched her walk out the job laughing with somebody, and it's fine. But if I walk out the job laughing with a female, we dating. So it's different on both ends. I don't think nothing of it. I don't even question her about it. I don't say nothing if I see her laughing or doing anything because that's just me. I'm not a jealous person like that. Unlike her, I can't talk to nobody or say nothing to anybody without something going on at periods. So I mean, it's a different ball game. But I really don't care before or after. The ones before, I question all of them because to me, all of them. I don't care what she say. She grew up with them. All of them attempted. They tried, and I'm positive. She can say they didn't, and I know it's a lie. So I watch all of them, but I'm not jealous. But
They all did not. So that's no.
Whatever. I'm not even gonna go into that because I can't. But I'm not. We gonna leave it like it is because I'm not gonna go in there. But I will. I'm about to mute myself now.
Yeah, reclaiming. Go ahead, Tammy.
Do I think it's appropriate? I think it can be appropriate, and I think it can be inappropriate. I think it depends on the situation, and I don't necessarily think it matters whether it was a pre-friendship or post-friendship, because we know a lot of them pre-friendships is not right, period. They have either probably they have probably either had intercourse, or they may have flirted, or that other friend may not, may just like you and may try and sabotage your relationship because they want you for themselves, because a lot of friends do want those, their friends. So I don't know. I think it just depends on the situation. I definitely think needs to be some type of boundaries. But I don't know. I think each situation needs to be viewed and a decision needs to be made. Because I definitely need to meet that female because I need to get a vibe. You can tell when somebody like your man. I need to meet her. I don't care if she's your friend or not, because she might not be your friend no more, period. But I think it's just different for each situation. But I do think it can be appropriate and some can be inappropriate.
Okay, Jennifer.
I don't think that the whole idea of you being friends with opposite sex is a no-go. I think that it more depends on your spouse. Like for me, I don't care. Because people gonna do what they want to do. Whether or not you identify that person as your friend or not, if they want to flirt with you, if they they want to try to make a move, or if they're gonna do that, whether you identify them as friends, whether you purposely hang out with them or not, they're gonna do what it do. So it really, for me, it's I trust my husband. If he wants to have this relationship, whether or not I say yes or no, he's still gonna have it. So if I see something that I don't like, of course I'm gonna say, nah, she's not right for you. But on a regular basis, I don't care. He has a lot of female friends. It does not bother me. However, on the flip side, I don't think that he could handle me having male friends, because he didn't really handle that very well in the past. And even, because even we was years ago, just got married. Well, no, not even just got married, because we had Isaiah. Going into a cell phone store, a guy asked me my name. He spoke up and wouldn't even let me say my own name, like very territorial. And I get that to a certain extent.
What'd he say, Jennifer? What'd he say?
But I feel like to a certain extent, like, you have to trust your spouse, like, to know what they're going to do. And if I'm always coming to your aid or saying, no, you can't have this, this, and this, you're not going to be able to build up those skills to be able to walk away, or to know when a friendship is not good for yourself, or to know when you put yourself in an inappropriate relationship. Like, we're all grown. You know who you are, how you handle different situations. You know if a girl is trying to check you out, or if they want more than just a friendship. So if you're engaging in that, that's because you're willingly engaging in that.
Thank you. So I just want to say that I can handle Jennifer having male friends. This dude was mad disrespectful, because here's the thing. Number one, when you see, and this is just my perspective, when you see a man and a woman and a child in a car seat walking out of a location together and getting into a vehicle, you automatically assume that this is at minimum mother and father. This dude, we walking out and this dude like, hey, I don't even remember what he said. Something like, hey, beautiful, what's your name? My nigga, her name's Jennifer. You know what I'm saying? What up? And I had never, and it's so funny because I thought about for years what I would do in that situation. And I was like, I really wonder how I react. But I was so mad in that split second, because I just thought it was super disrespectful. And then he like, oh, that's your wife? Yes. That's your baby? Yes. Can I help you with, can I help you? So in that sense, he was super mad, disrespectful. But if she has, because like when we first started dating, 75% of her friends were male. She has a lot of female friends now, but most of her friends were male. And I'm not stupid. I am on the long lines of Jonathan. I don't know one male friend that Jennifer has had that didn't or don't currently like her, tried to talk to her, still want to get at her, period. I don't believe it. And that's why I say loud and proud, y'all stay on them bleachers. You can be a fan, but you stay your tail right on over there, because if you step off them bleachers, now we got a situation. Do I have an issue with her being friends or them being friendly? No. But the moment that they step on down, now we got a situation. Because that day I was prepared. I was like, Jennifer is getting ready to see a side of me that she's never seen before. Then I'm thinking like, I got my baby in the car, so I got to lock the car up, because I was ready for it. It was going down. I was ready. I was ready. I was ready.
It wasn't even like that. You made it bigger than what it was.
I didn't make it bigger than what it was because of the disrespect that came with it. We are within, we're not even social distancing. We're walking like hand to hand. And you talk about what's your name? Dude, are you kidding me?
It's time. Reclaim his time.
That was bad disrespectful. You did right, brother. You did right. Because that was bad disrespectful.
Say my name.
Hey, Frank.
But I feel like it goes back to to trust though. Like, yeah, in that situation, whatever, you right there, you want to speak up, whoa, whatever. But we've talked about even other instances when we were talking about going on vacations, and I made a joke about, oh, you can go with your boys, but me and my girls is gonna crash it, but we gonna be on one end and on the other end. And you was like, oh no, y'all can't do that because I wouldn't be able to focus if you on the beach and you not with me. Like, oh, if a guy talks to you, that's gonna be an issue. But you should trust me enough to know that I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I got something else going on. I've been away at girls' trips if you have tried to talk, and I'm like, no, I'm married, I'm good. Like, I feel like that's a trust issue.
Go ahead, Troy Lee.
My comment is there have been the reason why I say for me that new friends are just not an option, because when I'm out, be it with my husband or even by myself, and somebody try to talk to me and I say, no, thank you, then the first thing or I say I'm married, and the first thing to come out their mouth is, well, can you have any friends? And so I'm like, yeah, no, because first of all, you made it obvious from your first move that you're not even trying to be my friend. So what I say is my husband, I'm gonna give you his number, and he knows my number. And if he is okay with us being friends, he will give you my number. And because and that's why I say post marriage, no, because there has not been a man that has approached me that was saying, okay, I want to be your friend.
And I would say this, that I can understand Frank's disposition at that point in time. However, I understand Jennifer's perspective because, like Toli says, she's had suitors come up, and I have stepped back. I have not said anything because I want them to hear from her. Yes, her name is Torlise, but yes, I'm married. And I'll stand right there and be like, yep, that's me over here. Because just like Kroger, we were in the dairy aisle, and we were looking at yogurt, and some guy came up to her. I was walking towards them, and she said, yeah, there goes my husband right there. And I just said, and he politely backed off. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like I need to say anything because they're not good. They can try it, but she needs to be able to be in that position, and I need to see her sometimes so that I can know that I can trust her. Because if I do step in all the time, like Jennifer said, it may develop a false sense of trust, because then she may not know what she can do in that situation, because you're always jumping in every single time. And I don't mind my wife having her own voice. Hell, she says whatever she wants to say anyway. I mean, just let her say.
First of all,
let her speak for herself.
Yes.
Reclaiming your time. Go ahead, Jason.
I think Jennifer, you kind of I'm not saying looking at the situation wrong, because you can look at it however you want to, but I think what his situation was, the guy noticed him standing there and just chose to ignore him. So on a man's level, that's disrespectful. And so that's the reason why I believe he reacted like that. If you were alone by yourself, I do believe he would trust you to say, no, I'm not interested. But that right there was blatant disrespect. Basically, if you don't respond, I'm gonna keep talking. And if you say, well, I have a husband, then that's when another question comes in. Him responding like that was pretty much the best he could do without, going up and saying, being more aggressive, like, yeah, what you want to do, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying it would have got to that point, but I don't think he did anything wrong.
I'm not saying that he did anything wrong, and I'm not saying that I didn't appreciate it. I thought it was pretty high at the moment. But what I'm saying
did you check the chat?
No, but what I'm saying is I feel like the way that he's presented it now, it wasn't like that. Like, I get from a male perspective, it can be presented as disrespectful. I get that wholeheartedly. But we wasn't that close to each other. I honestly don't even think Isaiah was there. He keeps saying Isaiah was there. But I just feel like sometimes you guys can turn the situation into something that it's not. I'm not saying in that particular situation, he was dog wrong for saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But
You saying as men? You say you guys as men or just people in general?
As men. I'm saying as men. I'm not saying that he was dog wrong, but I'm saying sometimes y'all can make it bigger than what it was. Like, my name is Jennifer. I know how to take care of myself. Let's move forward. Because I don't want you.
Right, but I don't think that was in that moment. It wasn't a trust thing, and because obviously I trust you. You're alone a lot, so that was not a trust. And again, I've thought about this day a lot because I'm like, it's going to happen at some point. What am I going to do? And the moment was there, and in that moment, if it wasn't disrespectful, if I was like still inside the store, or if we were at the amusement park and went to get us some drinks and I walked up and saw you speaking with a suitor, I would not have had an issue. I would have, let you handle it, and then I would have came, here you go, babe, here's your drink, here's our food, let's continue on. But that dude, mad disrespectful. You not.
I feel like because you thought about it so much, you was overly aggressive in that situation.
I wasn't aggressive.
Yes, you was. Like, he was like, no, for real. He was like, hey, cutie, what's your name? Her name is Jennifer. That's you? Yeah. And just open the door. Like, it's not that big of a deal, bro. Like, my name is Jennifer. Let's keep going. Like, it wasn't like
that might change the whole scenario, bro. If it happened like that.
That's what it is. That's what I'm saying. That is.
She is exaggerating. I was just like, how dare? I was thinking to myself, like, how dare you?
You were already prepared, Frank, because you had
social cues. He didn't take no social cues. Go ahead.
You were already prepared for it, though.
You should have told him your name instead of her.
Is it Christina's turn?
No, he said Tammy. So, Mills, in that situation, you definitely wasn't wrong. He was wrong. But I do agree with Jennifer when she say how aggressive you was, because you just said you was ready. So if you was ready, you were super aggressive when you responded to him, okay? But that's not what I want.
Thing, though. I think Jennifer takes I have to be somewhat aggressive when I'm responding to somebody because of my disposition, my demeanor. People can take my demeanor as soft because I'm a calm person. I don't have this big, deep, rah-rah, macho voice. So when I am assertive to people, I have to kind of get aggressive so that people understand I beat the brakes off of you in this parking lot. That's what you don't understand.
Okay, that's understandable. But this is my question, because almost everyone on this call has said new relationships or new friendships is a no-no. Why is it okay for us to have a new same-sex friendship, but it's not okay for us to have an opposite-sex new friendship? Because my best friend, I met 10 years ago after I was married. It's a female, but I met her 10 years ago, and you never know who may come in your life because everyone is in your life in different seasons. So why is it not okay, and I'm asking everyone this question, for you to get a new friend after you're married? Because it's possible.
Going to Christina and then Toy, then Jason.
So before I answer the question she just asked, it doesn't matter. Let me just answer the question she asked. I had a lot to say about that whole friendship and all that stuff. And then, man, and Jennifer threw me off with y'all whole situation because my brother was ready, and best believe he always gonna be ready because I taught him. Anyway, moving on to the question that Tammy just asked. I was not one of the ones who said it has to be post-marriage, because I too have met some people after I was married that I have become friends with. So I was not one of the people who said that. But if it's a female, I can meet them anytime and become friends with them. It's no big deal. But if it's a male, pretty much they gotta be, for my husband to be okay with it, they gotta be liking what they are. So like he can't be no fine dark specimen, and I'm up here talking about this is my homie that I met, at work or whatever, because at the end of the day, not to say that it cannot strictly be platonic, but at the end of the day, it probably not. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Period. You just can't do it.
All right, go ahead, Toy Lee.
Oh, wait.
You're after Toy Lee.
So what about me?
You're after Toy Lee. Go ahead, Toy Lee.
In response to Marie's question, the reason for me why there can be no post friendships after we got married is because honestly, with the exception of one person, which was a co-worker, any man that has ever approached me has not been trying to. It was not on some type of friendship type of thing. After you done tried to shoot your shot and I let you know I was married, then you say, oh, well, can you have friends? Not one like you. So I cannot come home and say, oh, Michael, yeah, this is Derek. I just met him at Kroger. This is Derek. I met him at Kroger 2 weeks ago, so we friends now. Because my husband gonna be looking at me like the look he got on his face right now. Period. So because he knows what the real is. So that's why I believe, as far as me personally, there has not been a man that approached me that was strictly on some type of friendship stuff, with the exception of my one coworker.
Go ahead, Jason.
I don't even know what I was about to say, dog. I guess I was about to ask you.
You was answering Tammy's question. She said, "Why is it inappropriate for you to?"
Because you're more prone to have a sexual or physical relationship with the opposite sex for the most part.
Whether you meet them before or after. Because she said, why is it not okay to meet somebody after you're married and become friends with them? That was her question.
Goes back to the last episode. What's your motivation? Why do you, what do y'all have in common? Now, it'd be different if you were saying that if it was a female friend and she was just as close to you or she was cool with you also, then that's kind of an organic relationship, and I kind of understand that. But if you having conversations that I'm not, what I'm saying, I don't know what his motivation is. I don't know what his point is.
Women are lesbians these days too, right? So they can get close to your wife. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that, because they be on me. These girls be on me.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so why is it okay though? Because she can start messing with that female friend too, for real.
Reclaim it. Go ahead, Erica.
You'll just have to be real weak if you would just fall into it with a girl. I'm just saying, if you strong and you strong in your sexuality, that shouldn't matter. So I'm just gonna point that out. However, my thing is, I feel like as far as like friendships, it just kind of just goes with the characteristic of the person. If you know how that person is and things, and like I said, and past things that has happened, while I know we're trying to press forward and move forward and build trust and things like that, there's always going to be in the back of my mind the things that happened with them other people that were so-called friends. And that's me, and that's my serious comment, and that's a serious thing for me. So you can't sit up here and say that, oh yeah, Susie Mae, she is my friend. No. Susie Mae, both are our friend then. We all going to hook up. We all going to the club. We all doing this. We all doing that. That means Susie May will be friends with me too. Now, I can't, as far as me saying I have like Jonathan may say he may have seen me with, guys walking out, laughing and things like that. There is people on my team that I may be with more often than others. So we have built some kind of, relationship. But there will never be a time where he'll see me and Eric going out for drinks together. It'll be me, Jonathan, Eric, and Annie going out for drinks together. It wouldn't be me and Eric going out for drinks or anything like that, because even though me and Eric, we cool. At one of my coworkers at work, he's really cool with me, and I actually do consider him. He's a friend, but we have several boundaries. We're friends at work. We don't go out with each other.
Coworker though. Now he a friend.
We don't do
it. Was coworker, and the coworker can't be a friend. Now it's a friend.
He's cool.
No. Earlier you said coworker cannot be friends.
But he's never did anything out of the way. Just like you say, your homegirls are your friends. You claim your homegirls are your friends.
I've never said none of that.
You a lie.
I've never said none of that.
You're lying.
Even if I tried,
you are lying.
You
are lying.
My old friend, and I tried to introduce her because she didn't even want me to introduce her to her.
That's because I was looking a hot mess that
That
day.
had nothing to do with it, Erica.
All right, we're recording.
But you know everybody though, and he know everybody. Everybody, you know, oh, we friends.
You know I do.
Really? From where? Just like Michael said in the Kroger situation, bringing up people talking about, oh yeah, we went to Persian together. I don't remember them. I went to Persian for 2 years.
Yeah, you not. You claim you didn't know nobody gonna use that person. Of course you're not gonna know nobody.
Go ahead, Jennifer, and then Toy
I disagree with the statement that you can't have new friends after the marriage. I kind of feel like, I don't know, it just, for me, it kind of just goes back to trust, and it's not, because I get that you guys are talking about the other people's mentality and motives and different things like that, but you're not in a relationship with those other people. Like, you can't control what they're going to do. And so I think that it also goes back to that conversation and that trust with your spouse. Like, you should know your spouse and they should know the boundaries of the relationship. And so having this idea that they're going to engage with a friendship that's not really a friendship, like how Toalise was talking about at Kroger, she told the guy that she was married, and then he was like, well, can you have friends? Like, you know, like, being a mature individual, you know that he's not really asking you to be your friend. So that wouldn't even go into this category of being a friend. So it's really analyzing what your idea of friendship and then your own motives, because if you decided to befriend that person, you had different motives too, knowing that he would slide on some other friendship stuff. And so what are you really looking for too? And if you are looking for a healthy friendship, like a co-worker, or me and Frank have talked about me having business partners and different things like that, and he has to be comfortable with that. And so I think it just depends on the mindset and the mentality of your partner, whether or not they are mature enough to have appropriate friendships, and also look at their friendships that they had before. Are those healthy friendships? Are those appropriate friendships, no matter where they come from?
I agree totally. Go ahead, Toy
It's not Toy it's Michael. But anyways, I wanted to answer Tammy's question, and we pretty much did. But you can't have new friends that are the opposite sex after marriage unless, for me personally, they are married. Because like Erica said, you have a new friend, well, guess what? That new friend now becomes my friend. Because, and there may be times where you have time alone and you work and do all that kind of stuff, but going out for drinks and stuff like that, like she asked me, could so-and-so take her out for drinks, like her and Bernard? Well, I ain't never met Bernard. No, this is no lunch date, but but I can't stop them from going to the cafeteria at work. But after work, no. Well, is his wife coming with you? We can all go together for some drinks. And let's all,
You don't drink, Michael.
So, I mean, single-wise, no. Not unless, like her other friend, he's gay. I met him. He's real gay. So, no. So, yeah, she can have all the friends she wants in that area. He's a man. He likes men. He really does. I mean, she can have all the friends she wants. But if she wants a straight male, that male needs to be involved with a female, and we need to get together.
But are we saying that people can't have friends of the opposite sex in general, or are we just saying that there needs to be boundaries? Because I don't think anyone is going against the idea that there needs to be boundaries.
Well, I mean, there are naturally boundaries. I guess my boundary is if you want a straight male to be a friend, that straight male needs to be involved with a straight female, or that male is gay. Boundary.
Go ahead, Jason.
And I think sometimes we in our experience, I can kind of see things before. I can't tell the future or forecast, none of that weird stuff with nothing like that. But I can usually, within a couple of times of meeting a person or getting to know them, or you telling me certain stuff about them, I can kind of pretty much tell you if I think that person has negative intent or whatever the case may be. So I like to pose this question. So if your husband or your spouse, man or woman, says they don't like that person or feels a certain way about that person in terms of their genuine, just platonic intentions with you, may it be before or while you were married, do you take that and take heed to it, or do you do whatever you want to? You note it in the book and you keep on moving with the friendship.
I'll answer first since we already unmuted.
Nah.
I'll answer first since we already unmuted. Okay.
Yeah,
Jay,
answer that.
Jay only asking this. Jay only asking.
This is
10
our
seconds.
question. So
10 seconds. I got you. Real quick. Jay only asking this because this was our experience a few months back. However, because that situation happened how it happened, now, before I would say, I'll take it into consideration, but at the end of the day, if I want to be that person's friend, I'm going to be that person's friend. However, since we did just have a little situation.
This happened more than that one time, several times.
I don't know no several times.
Several times. We can now name them.
But so since this situation just happened a few months back and Jay was like, no, I don't think you should mess with dude. I don't think, just leave it at, if it ain't work related, don't talk to him outside of anything other than work. And I did, not nothing crazy, but just, random conversation. And it did end badly where, he almost got his face knocked in. So now I would say if your husband or your spouse feels some type of way about it, you possibly should take that into a lot of consideration. And at the end of the day, your spouse needs to be comfortable. So if your spouse is uncomfortable, then you need to fix it. So now I'm saying yes. If Jason I met dude, I ain't feeling him, that ain't a good relationship. Yeah, I'm cutting it off. I am. So, that was your question. So,
Tammy.
I'm kind of on the fence with this because you know me, I'm always thinking about somebody trying to control me, and these days Tammy don't like to be controlled. However, I do understand that if your spouse is uncomfortable with your relationship with someone else, it definitely needs to be addressed. Now, does that necessarily mean you're gonna stop because let's be honest, if you have a friendship with someone, even if your spouse say, you know what, I don't want you talking to him or her, are you necessarily gonna stop talking to him, or are you just not gonna talk to him around them? Let's be honest. Let's be real. So I don't necessarily know. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I just don't know the answer to this question. I'm on the fence. Me personally, I don't want to be controlled, but I am willing to have a conversation with my mate so everyone can feel comfortable.
All right, Jennifer.
I think it depends on the reasoning. I mean, overall, in general, obviously, if my spouse doesn't feel comfortable, then obviously I need to somewhat walk away. But I would have questions, because you just having this feeling like, I don't like old dude. Okay, so why don't you like him? We would have to have a conversation. But it's not like I'm gonna grill you, like you have to give me every little detail. But for me in the past, in my immature days, I ain't like him, or I didn't like her. It was somebody and I just wanted you to defriend them. That's not really appropriate. I feel like it has to be a reason. And I get some things that you can't explain. You may have a feeling, okay, I'm in tune with you. You got a feeling, okay, then we'll just have this very limited co-work conversation. But I don't think that I'm just gonna automatically not be friends with somebody just because he too good looking. I'm not gonna not befriend him because he's just too good looking. That's stupid.
Jonathan.
What was the question?
If your spouse does not approve of your friendship, will you still have the friendship, or would you?
I would say no, but it all depends on what the issue is. It depends on what the issue is. But I don't talk to nobody like that anyway. For her not to approve of anybody, I don't talk to nobody. So let's see what she gonna say, because she looked like her hair turned sideways.
Go ahead.
I'm going to refrain from what I was about to say because I know we're recording and I don't want us to get a fine. But anywho, kind of going answering both because Jennifer had said something first and then Jason said something. So Jennifer, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. Instead of saying not necessarily having friends, I think there's just a lot of boundaries that need to be put in place. So I'll say that. I'll just say that there has to be some boundaries put in place. So I'll say that because I don't want Jonathan to lose it. So that's what I'll say for that. So to Jason's point, if your spouse does not approve, no, I think you should. I think we should definitely have a conversation about it. If there's somebody who Jonathan just like did not like, however, Jonathan he's typically like go with the flow. Like there's not too many people, if he sits back and he just sits back and watch. But my thing is, if you see something, you need to tell me, because he see things and then he won't say anything to me about it. He see it, but he won't say anything. So I feel like you have to let me know those things so that I can even be aware, and then he wait and then blows it up when it's a different scenario or a different situation, instead of just attacking it right then and there. Like, I didn't know, like, he had like some serious issues about some of the friends that we had, but you have to say that. You can't have the issues with it, but yes, I would. If he said not to, then I probably would. But see, I've been a loner lately anyway, so I don't do too much, like, talking to too many people like that anyway.
All right, follow nation.
Small circle.
Me personally, I would have to. I'm like Tammy. I'm kind of on the fence, because I would have to know what your problem is and why you have this problem, especially if I personally, as your wife and as your partner, have not given you a reason to be suspect about anything. And if your suspicion is coming specifically from the other party, but what does that have to do with me? I am your wife. You are in a relationship with me. In regards to my husband, there has been a friendship that I told him that needed to be severed. And in the beginning, he told me to pay it. But I will tell you this. But then I asked him, if this friendship is worth your marriage, then you can keep it. If not, you need to sever it. And I was not, there was no wiggle room. It's either your marriage or this friendship. So for me, it's about what is it in regard to?
Michael?
I agree there would need to be some conversation about why you feel that particular way. Is it that you just don't trust me, or you don't trust them? But really, you saying you don't trust them is really you saying you don't trust me. They can't do anything. There's nothing they can do that would persuade me if I don't allow them to. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like that across the board with anybody. Yes, there was a relationship, a friendship that I had back in high school. We kept in contact. And yes, at first I did say that. Yeah, I did. But as time went on, it eventually dissolved. Now, I don't talk to her at all, but I still consider her a friend, but I don't talk to her at all.
They ain't friends.
So, but yeah, we would have to talk about it, because there's nothing that they can do that will make me do anything I didn't already want to do. So that's really a personal question for me.
So for me, I don't have issues with new friends, meeting friends, is specifically in my relationship because of my wife's profession. She is so good at what she does that she comes into contact with people all the time. And I didn't even, and my wife has been in her profession for 4 years now, maybe 5 years, and I literally found out yesterday at real time that she had clients of opposite sex. I feel like I knew it somewhere in the back of my mind, but I didn't really. It didn't connect until yesterday when she was just like, yeah, I have male clients, and I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean you have male clients? I trust her. I'm not worried about it. But when it became apparent to me that she has male clients, now I'm like, oh, okay, so she got male clients. I need to be paying attention, not for any kind of reasons of I don't trust her. I think she's going to do something, but I know men. I know how men operate, and I know that it's been a going theme on here that this guy can't do anything that I don't allow them to do. But men can be very manipulative. They can say things in a way that, and again, this does not mean that you are not emotionally or maturely in that you can't handle that, but it just brought on another level of, hey, okay, so she sees men. And I think it just shocked me more than anything because in my mind, that wasn't happening. But, she's going to have meetings with men. She's going to have men, married and unmarried, that she is doing projects with, that she is, maybe hosting a conference with. And I think that that's 100% totally okay. And I say outside of it being a male and female thing, it's an intention. It's what is the intention? What's the motive? And who are these people thing? Because I believe that just as much as there can be bad male influences for her, I think that there can be bad or inappropriate female influences as well. So that's my take on it. Go ahead.
So you came to this revelation that I'm in close contact with males, whether married or unmarried, and you said I know the way that males think and how they basically are crafty, and it doesn't have anything to do with emotional maturity. Why do you put so much emphasis on males when women can be the exact same way, but yet we haven't really put any focus on
that? That's a great question.
Because the same way I can slip up, you can slip up too, supposedly.
I'll take it. Go ahead, let me take it. Let me take it, bro. Let me take it. The reason why it's different, and this is based off of experience, because usually a woman basically requires more when it comes to a sexual relationship. A man is more prone to be visual. Men are, could you get out of my face?
I'm just trying to listen to see what you got.
Yeah, but you don't have to be that close. You all up breathing in my neck. I can't even get my thought out. I don't even remember what I said.
Because you're about to say some BS.
No, men are visual. Everybody knows this. Men are visual. So men don't have to know you and know your personality or get to go out with you and do all this other stuff for them to want to have sex. Women could possibly do it, but we're talking about macro, not micro. Those situations don't easily happen. Usually men have to put forth effort to have sex with a woman that they don't know, that they have never met before. Women don't come up I'm trying to explain to you, they do not come up to men like that.
Jason's whole thing is women are emotional creatures. A man can have a disconnect and have sex, but a woman has to be emotionally involved to have sex.
It's not even that deep.
Do you not think that though?
No, it's not even, that has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. We're talking about what people are prone to do.
So a man is prone to cheat without emotionally involved.
It has nothing to do with emotions. You're not getting what I'm saying.
What are you saying though?
The average female does not just walk by a dude on the street and just say I want to have sex or rape a man or physically impose herself on a man. Women don't do that. That's not their personality. It can happen, but it doesn't happen the majority of the time. The majority of the time.
Not on the streets, but we have been talking this whole time about the club, and you can't tell me, and I'm not a
yeah, and through experience.
But you can't tell me that women don't throw themselves on men, and the idea of men being visual people, a woman don't even have to throw themselves on you. You see booty and tits, and you all in. If it's
that's my point. That's my point.
But that's what I'm saying. So on y'all, you see booty and tits, and so it would be the same instance how you're talking about with us putting ourselves in those situations. Men are doing the same thing, but when we're talking about this, it's all about the female, about us, and not really about y'all. Also,
no, I agree. It's on. I agree. I never said I didn't. No. I didn't say that's not. You shouldn't feel that same exact way. You can feel that way if you want to, and if you think that your husband is a threat to be a woman is going to be attracted to him and could jump his bones, whatever you want to call it, that's quite fine. I agree with it. But when you look at society, when you look at reality, men are more prone to try to pursue a woman for a sexual relationship than a woman would. Yes, it is.
Women are so aggressive these days.
That's not. You keep saying micro. We talk about overall, the majority rules.
The majority of these women is aggressive.
Not as aggressive as men. If that was the case.
But it's okay. How you were saying, well, not necessarily you, but the discussion was saying that women can put themselves in situations. They had a fight with their spouse, and they went to the club, and they didn't think about cheating, but it slipped into a cheating situation. But it was only from the perspective of the woman, and not you guys being at home and getting frustrated and going out and slipping into that same situation. So I'm saying, why do we always phrase it as the woman is going to do this versus anybody can do it, or the male can do that as well?
Well, I believe
that's the same as in the club. If you in a club setting or any setting, I'll agree with you. A man is more prone to want to cheat than a woman. We saying the same thing. I'm not putting anything on women. What I'm saying is,
I'm saying when we have discussions, though, you guys only focus on the women. Like the women are doing this. When we were having a discussion, it was more about the women doing this instead of, because we have both sex on here, looking at both aspects and taking ownership that males can do that too.
We agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
But we're not going to take ownership of that because we're not doing that. So we're talking from our perspective.
And that's the way. And if it comes across that way, exactly
how we see our spouses, that's where we're speaking from. I am not saying that males are exempt from any kind of behavior, because they're not. Absolutely not. I would never say that because the reality is males are more, if you think about statistics wise, most of the time it's the men doing the cheating and not necessarily women. So I don't believe that we are saying at all that men are exempt from that. We're just speaking from our perspective. But I'm glad that you clarified that, because I totally thought you were asking a totally different question. That's why I couldn't answer. I thought you meant like if it was a female trying to holler at you, because I'm like, I can't really compete with no female. So what
I'm saying is, when we have these conversations, although you guys know in the back of your head that male could do it, it's still you guys present it in a distant perspective, as if we're talking about other males instead of bringing it to the table. But when we talk about the female aspect, it is more closely related to us. Like, you pull out us females and you generalize or depict us on the call. And I'm not saying you specifically call on us, but I'm saying when we say males, you guys disassociate and be like, oh yeah, those males out there on the corner on the street.
That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. Jennifer, that's what y'all do. Because you will make a generalization. Listen, you will make a generalization and a sweeping generalization about men and black men. And then we do the same. Speak to yourself, speak to your own. Go back and look at we got to record it. Go back and look at recordings. Go back and look at the recordings.
This is absolutely excellent conversation, and we have made it to the time in our conversation where we are going to start with final thoughts, and we are going to start with Fowler Nation.
Okay, so my final thought is post friendships opposite sex after marriage is a no, unless we are all going to be married and all going to be friends together. This was a very good topic for us to discuss, just to get the different perspectives. I don't know. I think that's
Michael?
Awesome topic, I believe. You can have girl groups and guy groups.
Yeah.
They're healthy for the relationship.
Yes.
I think everybody needs time away.
Yes.
You cannot have, for us, single opposite sex as friends. They must be married or involved, and will meet each other and enjoy each other and have fun together. Mm-hmm. And everyone is capable of doing the same exact thing. Males are capable of cheating. Women are capable of cheating. It is all across the board. We're all messed up individuals, and we got to get ourselves right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Fowler. Then Crawford.
I will say this whole just topic, both topics in general, very helpful, kind of challenging for me. So it gave me perspectives just to look at myself. Like I said, I always take a lot of this stuff, put it in my back pocket and try to use it later. But like I said, this is a very challenging topic for myself. So it allowed me to look at myself, my own insecurities that I may have and things of that nature. But just to get my final thoughts on each topic, I do think that we do need to explore and have, our own lives. And it's okay for Jonathan to be Jonathan, Erica to be Erica, and have, a little separation. And then we can always come back together. And, like Twilly said earlier, absence make the heart grow fonder. So I'm all for, him going on a guy trip, just not as frequent, but I'm cool with that. And then as far as like the friendship goes, I will say it's okay to be friends with people in general. It just you have to have boundaries, period. Not even just with, opposite sex relationships. I think there needs to be, certain boundaries with your boys too. You can't be out till 6 o'clock in the morning with your homies, and stuff like that. There just has to be some kind of, boundaries in any relationship. Because last time I checked, if I'm the wife, I come first and vice versa. So, yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. Like I said, I always love these conversations. Love talking to y'all about it. And thanks for your perspectives. I appreciate it. And that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Steve.
All I'm going to say is she don't need no friend but me and Jesus. Before and after, they can go on about their business. She got what she needs. Me and Jesus. That's it. And that's all I'm going to say about the whole thing.
The Greens.
So to sum up my summary, do I feel like, or is it okay for men to go on boys trips and hang out with their friends and women to do the same? Absolutely. I feel like it's okay. I've been saying that the whole time. I feel like it's okay, and I feel like as long as the intentions are good, you're just trying to get out, have a good time, there's nothing wrong with it. The whole friends of the opposite sex, I also think that's okay. It just really depends on, honestly, I don't really know, listening to some of y'all have points. I don't really know if it matters when that person entered your life, whether it was pre-marriage or post-marriage, but I do feel like if your husband or your spouse have something to say about it and they like, I ain't feeling that person, I don't feel like that person feeling you or got your best interest at heart, I do feel like it should probably be cut off. Regardless of, yes, you're gonna have a conversation about it, but at the end of the conversation, I feel like you should cut it off. Because at the end of the day, no outsider should disrupt what you have going on inside your home. At the end of the day, if Jay decide to leave me or if I decide to leave him, that other person ain't about to pay no bills and take care of the kids and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like outsiders should interrupt what you got going on in your house. But yeah, as far as friends of the opposite sex, as long as everybody respectful and boundaries are there, I don't really see much wrong with it. Right.
I think to Erica's point, I think when she said, I'm your wife, I'm your spouse, so I should come first. I think that's like the most important thing, no matter what. When it comes down to going on a boys or girls trip, or if it comes down to going out or having a friend that's before or post marriage, I think a lot of that stuff hinges on putting your spouse first and their needs first. Like, I mean, because it doesn't make any sense to her point for me to have a relationship that would possibly disrupt anything going on with my relationship, even if it's a family member that is causing some kind of disruption. It should be looked at the same way. I think to Erica's point, like I stated, a lot of it, all of it has to be based off of the comfortability of your spouse and putting them first.
All right, Tammy.
I enjoyed this conversation. It's been one of my most favorite topics so far. I just want to say something what Jason just said, and me and Jason is having background conversations about it. I don't think that being in a necessarily relationship or having a friendship is necessarily not putting your spouse first, because you definitely always putting your spouse first. But I think it just all comes back to trust. And again, I said it offline, I'm not going to make decisions in my relationship based off of my spouse insecurities. It has to be a legitimate concern. It can't just be you insecure, you don't like this individual. No, it got to be a real concern. But I do think girls and guy trips are necessary. And I do think it's a possibility to have co-ed friendships and things like that. I think every relationship needs to be addressed individually. However, it's just a sticky situation for me. I don't know. That's my take.
All right, go ahead, babe.
Like stated before, I think that it's healthy to have those outside relationships, and no matter what it is, whether it's mixed company or all females or all males, they need to be healthy and appropriate. I think that it is okay to have opposite sex friendships, to hang out with them. I think that there needs to be boundaries at any point, and both sides need to be comfortable, and you need to be appropriate too. I feel like as a married person, you shouldn't be comfortable being out with opposite sex until 2 a.m. So that's something that needs to be discussed anyways. So I think that with everything, communication, boundaries, respecting your spouse, respecting yourself, and respecting all those that you allow around you.
All right. This has been a phenomenal conversation. I'm glad we talked about this, because this is definitely something that comes up a lot. You know, I understand that we are living in the middle of a pandemic right now, and there's not too much traveling or hanging out or anything going on because outside is closed right now. But I do believe that this is very important conversations for people to have, because it helps you to set those expectations in your relationship. And every relationship is going to be different. There are going to be relationships that are going to feel as if going on trips is inappropriate. There are some that are going to feel like, you know, having friendships after the marriage is inappropriate. So I think, again, something that I say often, you have got to have those conversations with your partner, and you guys have to make the best decision for your relationship. Because what works for your relationship may not work for mine, and what works for mine may not work for yours. And I think that you have to have those open and honest conversations so that you can get through those things. One thing that Tammy said is she's not going to make decisions based off of her spouse's or her partner's insecurities. That's a conversation that you need to have, because insecurities are a real thing. And whether or not they are requesting something of you or trying to set an expectation based off of their insecurity, or it's real or not, you got to have that space created where that you guys talk about that. Because at the end of the day, if you disregard your partner's insecurities, that is going to breed rebellion. And then ultimately, you guys are going to end up in a not so good situation. So you do have to have those conversations. You have to have those spaces that are open, that are honest, so that you can air out whatever it is that you're thinking, that you're feeling, and however you feel about these conversations. So I love everybody's perspective, and I'm really thankful that you guys chimed in. Thank you guys so much for all of the comments. Thank you guys. Every time that you leave a comment, we try to respond. If you have any questions that you would love us to answer, please inbox us or shoot us a message, and we'll be happy to get that on. Again, if you have not done so already, please like the page, subscribe, comment, find us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Couples in Conversation. And if you're ever looking for one of our videos, you can find them on Facebook Watch, and you can search it using the hashtag #GetInOnTheConversation. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time with Couples in Conversation.